Most passing touchdowns in a single game, 7. On the surface, 7 touchdowns in one game doesn't sound that crazy. In an era where offenses are passing more than ever and quarterbacks are throwing for 5,000-yard seasons like it's a hobby, you'd think this record would fall once a season. But it hasn't. It's been tied 8 times. Legends like Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, and Joe Kapp, if you know you know, have all done it. Even Nick Foles did it. But no one has ever hit 8. Why? Because coaches ease off the gas, teams play conservative when they're up big. You throw 5 touchdowns and people start tweeting GOAT emojis. You throw 6, and the backup is already warming up. Defenses today are built to adapt. So yeah, someone might tie this again. But break it? Probably never. Most rushing yards in a single game. 296, Adrian Peterson. Let's paint the scene. It's 2007. Rookie Adrian Peterson walks into a game against the Chargers and absolutely loses his mind. 296 yards, no overtime, no tricks, just raw speed, vision, and violent, angry running. He didn't run like he was playing football. He ran like the ball owed him money, and the Chargers had no answers. What makes this record unbreakable isn't just the number, it's how the position has changed. Running backs today don't get enough touches. They split carries. They're used in the pass game. If someone runs for 150 yards now, they're practically getting a game ball and a post on the team Instagram. To break Peterson's record, a back would need 30-plus carries, a defense made of cardboard, and an offensive coordinator who refuses to throw the ball no matter what. And that just doesn't exist anymore. Unless we go back in time, or Adrian Peterson comes out of retirement for one last game. Most receiving yards in a single game, 336, Flipper Anderson. First of all, yes, that's a real person. And yes, he really dropped 336 yards in a single game back in 1989. No TikTok, no Instagram, just vibes and deep roots. Flipper Anderson was a decent receiver with Olympic speed. But on that day, he was unstoppable. He averaged over 30 yards per catch. His quarterback couldn't miss, and the Saints' secondary might as well have been ghosts. Even with overtime helping boost the numbers, it was still a perfect storm. And here's the thing. Even modern legends haven't touched it. Calvin Johnson got close. So did Julio Jones. But the way NFL defenses adjust today, no receiver is getting that many deep shots without getting double-teamed, jammed, or just straight up ignored by their quarterback. This wasn't just a stat line, it was lightning in a bottle, and we probably won't see it again unless someone completely glitches the simulation. By the way, I'm going to be posting a lot here, so it would mean a lot if you subscribed and dropped a like for the algorithm. Most sacks in a single game, 7, Derek Thomas. Derek Thomas was a menace. In 1990, he lined up against the Seattle Seahawks and decided that 7 times in one game, he would sack the quarterback. And not just little pushovers either. Clean, violent, game-changing sacks. He basically built a real estate portfolio inside the Seahawks' backfield. 7 sacks in one game. That's not just dominance, that's disrespect. You'd have to be in another dimension of pass rushing to replicate that today. The modern game doesn't even allow for it. Quarterbacks get the ball out faster. Offensive linemen train like MMA fighters. Holding calls are rare. The window to make contact is smaller, and if you breathe on the QB wrong, it's 15 yards and a personal apology. Most interceptions thrown in a game. 8. Jim Hardy. This record exists because the NFL used to be lawless. Back in 1950, Jim Hardy threw 8 interceptions in a single game, and he played the whole thing. That's not a bad day. That's a full collapse. Today, a quarterback throws 3 picks and the backup is doing stretches. 4 picks, you're trending on Twitter. 5, you're doing interviews about how you're learning from it. But 8, in modern football, that literally cannot happen. Not because QBs are better, but because coaches, fans, and even teammates won't let it. This record isn't unbreakable because it's hard to do. It's unbreakable because no coach would ever allow it to get that far. Jim Hardy was a different breed of problem. Most rushing yards in a season, 2,105, Eric Dickerson. Eric Dickerson ran like he was trying to catch a flight, and in 1984, he didn't just lead the league in rushing, he lapped it. 2,105 yards in 16 games, with a single bar helmet that looked like it belonged in a museum. What makes this record wild is that it came in an era where teams ran the ball because they had to, not because it was trendy. Dickerson was the offense. 30 carries a game. No load management, no three-back committees. In today's NFL, no running back is getting enough touches to flirt with this number. They'll be split with a receiving back, or rested in blowouts, or rotated out to preserve their knees for the playoffs, or their next team. Derrick Henry came close, but even King Henry ran out of gas. Unless the NFL turns into a Navy offense overnight, Dickerson's record is staying right where it is, on the shelf, untouched, and still wearing goggles. Most receiving yards in a season, 1,964, Calvin Johnson. Calvin Johnson wasn't just a receiver, he was a glitch in real life. In 2012, Megatron posted 1,964 yards in a single season. And no, this wasn't in 17 games, it was in 16. With Matthew Stafford force-feeding him the ball like it was Thanksgiving dinner, he was double-teamed, triple-teamed, bracketed, and it didn't matter. He still came down with jump balls like he was playing with magnets. Justin Jefferson, Cooper Kupp, and Tyreek Hill have all made solid runs at this, but no one's broken it. Why? Because defenses adjust, game plans shift. Teams start calling 3-yard screens in the fourth quarter instead of taking deep shots to pad stats. Calvin had the rare combo of volume, talent, and a team bad enough to keep throwing every down. If this record ever breaks, it'll take another once-in-a-generation receiver on a team willing to abuse the stat sheet. Until then, it's Megatron's world. Most receiving touchdowns in a season, 23, Randy Moss. Let's set the stage. It's 2007. Tom Brady is on a mission. Randy Moss is back from Oakland football exile and mad at the world. The Patriots are angry, surgical, and out for blood. The result? 23 touchdowns in one season by one receiver. That's not a stat. That's a nightmare for defensive coordinators. Since then, not a single player has come within 3 touchdowns of this record. Not even close. And here's the real reason it'll probably never be broken. Today's offenses are balanced. WR1s get attention, but WR2s and tight ends eat too. Teams spread the ball. Coaches don't need to force one guy the ball in the red zone anymore. In 2007, Randy Moss was the red zone. To break this, someone would need 1. A Hall of Fame QB, 2. An MVP season, and 3. A team that doesn't care about being nice, that's rare air, and Randy's still floating above it. Most sacks in a season, 22.5. Michael Strahan did it first. TJ Watt tied it, but neither hit 23. And that's what makes this record brutal, because sacks are hard. You need opportunity, skill, consistency, and just enough luck to avoid getting held on every play. Strahan's record is legendary and controversial. People swear Brett Favre took a dive to give him the final sack. Watt did it legit, but in a 17-game season. So the debate rages on, but either way, the number still stands. 22.5. And that's with guys like Aaron Donald, Von Miller, Myles Garrett, all elite rushers who've never cracked it. Quarterbacks get the ball out faster now. Schemes are built to neutralize pressure. Even when you beat your man, you've got half a second to actually get to the QB before he throws it into the dirt. 22.5 is the mountaintop, and it's lonely up there. Most interceptions in a season, 14, Night Train Lane. This record is so old, the NFL still had teams called the Yanks when it was set. Night Train Lane picked off 14 passes in one season, as a rookie. He did this in an era where quarterbacks threw like they were playing darts blindfolded, and receivers didn't wear gloves. The ball was barely spiraling. Defenses weren't even pretending to disguise coverages, so why will no one ever match it now? Because quarterbacks don't throw picks like that anymore. Elite corners don't get targeted. And when they do, it's once or twice a game. You'd have to be a shutdown corner and a ball hawk and play on a defense that forces a ton of throws. The closest modern example? Trevon Diggs with 11 in 2021, and he was getting torched on every other snap. You can't play risky enough to get 14 today and still keep your job. Night Train's record belongs to a different world. Most career receiving yards, 22,895, Jerry Rice. Let's just say it, this one's never being touched. Jerry Rice didn't just break the record, he sent it into orbit. 22,895 receiving yards. That's over 13 miles of catching footballs. To put that in perspective, if a current receiver had 1,500 yards every year for 15 straight seasons, they'd still fall short. No one has that combination of talent, health, and insane work ethic anymore. Rice played for 20 years. At age 40, he had 800 plus yards. At age 41, he was still running routes crisper than half the league. This isn't just a football record. It's a test of time, genetics, and obsession. Megatron retired early. Julio got hurt. Hopkins fell off. But Rice? He just kept going and going and going. You don't catch Jerry Rice. You admire him from 10,000 yards behind. Most consecutive games with a reception. 274, also Jerry Rice. This record is the football version of never missed a day. 274 straight games with a catch. That's 17 full seasons without a single off day, injury gap, or goose egg. It's not just about skill. It's about durability, consistency, and never being irrelevant in a game plan. Even when he was the WR3, even when the team was stacked, even in garbage time, Rice got his. In today's NFL, players rest more. They sit out more. Offensive schemes rotate more. There's always a game where the top WR gets blanketed, or they're decoyed, or they miss a week with a sore hamstring. But Jerry? He never had those days. He was always open. To break this, you'd need a receiver who never misses a snap, never gets shut out, and plays until they're 40. In other words, you'd need Jerry Rice again. Most career passing yards, 89,214, Tom Brady. Brady didn't just beat the passing record, he moonwalked over it with avocado toast in one hand and 7 rings in the other. He passed Breeze, then passed Peyton, then passed Logic. 89,214 yards is video game stuff. He played for 23 seasons. He took a whole Hall of Fame career and added another one on top of it. To break this, a quarterback would have to start at 22, never miss a season, average 4,500 yards every year, and somehow still be elite at 44. No one's doing that. Not Mahomes, not Burrow, not Josh Allen. Brady's passing yards record is the NFL's Mount Everest, and the oxygen's thin up there. Most career wins as a QB, 251, also Brady. This isn't just a good stat, it's sickening. 251 wins, that means double-digit wins for 25 straight years, and he only played for 23. This is where Brady separates himself from everyone else. He wasn't just great, he was great forever. Think about how hard it is to win 10 games in one season. Now imagine doing that every year without fail, while half the league crumbles around you. Every quarterback has slumps, down years, coaching drama. Brady had all of that, and still won. To beat this, a quarterback would need 20-plus years of health, dominance, and help. And even then, they'd probably still fall short. Most career sacks, 200, Bruce Smith. This is a record that even the best edge rushers today might only reach if they clone themselves. Bruce Smith was a technician, a machine. He played for 19 years and never slowed down. The closest active player is Von Miller, and he's still 40 sacks away. That's how far away this record is. You'd need double-digit sacks per year, no missed seasons, no injury dips, no slow exits. And even then, it'd be close. Bruce Smith didn't just pass Reggie White. He passed the blueprint. Now, it's just him. Alone at the top of Sack Mountain. Most kickoff return touchdowns in a career. 10, Josh Cribbs and Leon Washington. Kick returns used to be electric. You'd see someone catch the ball 5 yards deep in the end zone, sprint full speed into 11 human wrecking balls, and somehow score. Guys like Josh Cribbs and Devin Hester made it art. But now, kickoff returns are basically gone. With the new kickoff rules, touchbacks encouraged, wedge blocks banned, and returns designed to be rare. Nobody's getting enough chances. You can be the fastest man alive, but if the ball's sailing out the back of the end zone every time, it doesn't matter. This record didn't just age, it got retired by the league. You can tie it. But breaking it? Only if the NFL starts kickoffs from the 10-yard line again, which won't happen. Most fair catches in a game, 7, multiple players. This one's hilarious because it only exists due to sheer absurdity. You have to imagine a punter having the game of his life, just bombing balls into the sky while the returner stands there like, "Yup, fair catch, again," 7 times. Today, that number is nearly unbreakable because teams don't punt that much anymore. And when they do, most returners let it bounce. To tie this record, your offense would need to be trash. Your punter would need to be elite, and the other team's gunners would have to be coming in like heat-seeking missiles. To break it, you'd need a time machine, a coaching staff with no fourth down confidence, and a punt returner with nerves of steel. Most touches in a season, 492, James Wilder. James Wilder is the forgotten workhorse. In 1984, the Bucs gave him the ball 492 times. That's carries and receptions. Today, no team would let this happen. The medical staff would file a lawsuit. To match that now, a running back would need 29 touches per game for 17 games with no injuries, all while still being productive enough to stay on the field. It's not happening. In the modern NFL, running backs are treated like rental cars. Use them just enough, then move on. No one's getting near 500 touches again. That's not just unbreakable, it's borderline unethical. If you enjoyed this, I'm going to be posting a lot here, so it would mean a lot if you subscribed. Thanks for watching.